for example, a banking app. So, you already know the core functionality of a banking app. You already know who the users are. Kasi meron na kayong normally pag enterprise, you already have your target customers.
Yeah.
Either they're just doing it manually now, then you want to automate it. In that case, parang meron ka ng, malalaman mo na, okay, one business, it could support like this number of users. At the first launch pa lang. Okay guys, welcome back to Kaka Computer, where tech meet wit and wisdom. So, for today's episode, we're gonna talk about building a legacy systems in the tech industry. So, I don't know, anong ibig sabihin ng legacy dito?
May definition pa ako, sabi, how to make a lasting software that will maximize the software life.
Okay,
so yun na, focus na tayo doon.
Hindi gumawa ng legacy system agad na outdated na agad yung yung practices. So more parang legendary system na medyo future-proof or would last
a long
years.
Time. Oh.
Yeah.
Hindi kasi pag sinabi namang legacy, yun nga na na-prove niya actually yung value niya. Diba? It serves its purpose for the longest time. That's why it got yung legacy status. And I think that's pretty good to aspire for, no? To know na kung ano man yung binuo mo will stand the test of time. It will prove its value time and again to the point na yung legacy system na siya.
Yeah. So we'll jump in sa first question natin. Ano ba yung mga key architectural principles that you think na would contribute para mas maging ma-increase ng longevity and maintainability ng isang software? Yeah. So, I think parang napapangiti si Boss Rod So, maraming hugot to.
I think for me lang, very controversial about sa maintainability or architectural side ng pag-build ng long-lasting system. Kasi, I have different opinion about it. Kumbaga sa akin, pagka sinabi mo kasing long-lasting is, it has a lot of factors. I mean, there's no one, let's say, you build coding standard, you build proper architecture when you do architecting, no, ng pagka-solution architect. Sa akin kasi pagkadating dito sa part na to is, for me, most of the time when you are building an application, at some point, after 1-2 years, it will become legacy. I mean, depending on how fast-paced yung pag-upgrade or pag-improve ng mga tools. Not unless if you are using legacy na programming language. Like, yung mga ginagamit ng ibang company. Like, ayun yung parang long-lasting. Think of for me, pagka sinabi mong long-lasting, meaning you're using some programming language that is really built to last. Like, ano ba yun? Like, ano ba yung mga legacy system natin ngayon ginagamit? Di ba? Makikita mo sa bangko, ano yung mga legacy na programming language and so on. Hindi ko nababanggitin, pero we know, di ba? We know there are programming language out there na ginagamit pa rin kahit sobrang tagal na, decade na, di ba? Ando doon pa rin sila. So, yeah.
How about you, Maki?
Ba't ako agad? Hindi, pero sige, yun nga. I think meron tayong parang I don't know, resistance or discomfort in general pag sabi mong legacy. Na parang ang nega ng dating.
Yeah.
And so for me, yun nga, just try to kind of spin this around, no. At the end of the day, kasi you wanted to build something that would address a business need, that would provide business value or whatever is yung objective on the existence of an application. And kasi whether you like it or not, the technology would, come and go for it will be superseded by something else. Yeah. But the operational need or whatever is still there and remains. It needs to be addressed. Which is yung sabihin natin as an analogy, diba? If you needed a solution to get you from point A to point B, you need a car. And you need to have yung car running like all the time, maintained, whatever. Pag nawala yung car mo, hindi ka na makabiyahe.
Yeah.
So balik yung problem. So in the same sense, Kaya ako din sasabi, and I get yung hesitance ng mga tao of using yung legacy term. But ultimately, yung goal is to really make sure na you have a solution that addresses the need and you maintain that regardless of what happened. Possible, for example, na meron kang parang particular platform, sabihin natin sa mobile space, ang bilis magbago ng mobile space. From, ang daming mga compatibility issues, and then maybe some things are being transitioned. If you're a native iOS developer, initially you were coding on Objective-C, tapos biglang you need to move over to Swift, for example, or something, or do some cross-platform stuff, whatever. Hindi siya code na mag-stand in the test of time. But again, in that specific scenario, it's kind of trivial, it's kind of irrelevant. Ang main goal mo talaga is to address the need. So I guess, if, we're going to be really strict about yung what legacy means, so mukhang ang babalik tayo din sa talagang mga dinosaur systems na talagang nagpa-persist. But for me, medyo leading, medyo hot take yung making a legacy system. Because again, for me, at the end of the day, you need a solution to address a need, a problem, and that's what's important. Sorry.
How about you, John?
Ayun. Pagdating sa legacy, parang, well, actually first hand ko siyang experience, like handling a legacy project, literally. Like, it's not just several years old, it's a decade-year-old project. So that's what comes to mind when you say legacy, like reaching that kind of time or span. So parang it was challenging. So nandun yung technical debt management. So I'm not the one who initiated the migration, but it happened when the time I joined the company, and buti na lang yun. So it was a lot of pain points like in the coding sense to address, but ayun, parang I think it doesn't need to happen that long before you do manage your legacy system. So I think there's some sort of decision that you need to make, especially if you're decision maker, or to think about like how you really build a system that will stand the test of time.
Yeah. I think from my end naman, I think it depends yun nga, dun sa problem na you're trying to solve, ano yung business needs. Then based from that, parang you design the architecture na you think would solve yung yung problem. And magkaiba siya. Merong stage kasi na your startup, you're still at like market validation stage. So it doesn't make sense to like future proof it so long na it would last 3 to 5 years. You don't even know if magkakaroon ka ng users.
Yes, please visit our website at tutorialstudio.com. We provide free courses for AWS and, of course, premium resources for certification exams for AWS, Azure, Kubernetes, and GCP.
So, it doesn't make sense. And yeah, I think one story sa lean startup industry is, there's this startup wherein they're building a product. Then parang for 6 months they've been trying to perfect it, resolving all the bugs, writing unit tests. After 6 months, no one is using the product. Then they realize, okay,
Real life scenario.
So things like that happen. But on the other side, there are these enterprise systems. For example, a banking app. So you already know the core functionality of a banking app. You already know who the users are. Kasi meron na kayong normally pag enterprise, you already have your target customers.
Yeah.
Either they're just doing it manually now, then you want to automate it. In that case, parang meron ka ng, malalaman mo na, okay, one business, it could support like this number of users at the first launch pa lang. So, in that case, parang you have to design the architecture na medyo long-term yung thinking mo na, okay, I think we have to make sure na scalable siya. Yeah. And I think when designing architecture, one of the principles that I really like is what they call the evolutionary architecture. Parang when you're designing architecture, it should be ready to evolve. So, it doesn't have to be like large scale na agad na naka-microservice, naka-Kubernetes, lahat na ng modern tech nilagay mo, event-driven. At the start, parang you could decide it like a modular monolith, very simple, it calls directly to the database, minimal yung mga abstraction. But then later on, you're designing it in a way na, okay, it's modular monolith. You could easily, okay, let's say this part of the program needs to scale up, then you convert it into a microservice. So, in a way, parang you're designing the architecture na, parang future-proof ready. But it will always not work kasi it's hard to design a future-proof system, but just try your best to do it. Yeah.
Well, yung sinabi mo, I think you touched on a couple of points na, for example, yung thing that can really be legacy, kagaya ng sinabi mo, diba, financial systems, diba? Pag yung problem domain mo is relatively static, alam mo naman, parang yung interest calculation or kung ano man yung mga operations within financial institutions, you're pretty much set. Parang for the past 50 or a century before, parang alam mo yung deposit and interest is still the same thing. Balancing the books is still the same thing. So parang yung sinabi mo lang na mayroong sort of effect yung problem domain na ginagawa mo ng solution kung paano siya pwedeng maging potentially legacy software. And at the same time, kasi yun nga biglang nagbe-break away na tayo dun sa idea ng software that stands the test of time. If you're gonna say evolutionary architecture, it's by definition, magbabago siya. And I think, ultimately, we need to go for a solution that addresses the problem. And if yung factors around it, if the nature of your problem domain is pretty dynamic, then I guess it's not going to be, legacy for, in the meaning of the, the term. But, you need to sort of have an approach then to make a dynamic that would follow din sa dynamicism ng problem domain na in-address natin.
I think, yun nga, I mean, siguro, no, for me, when it comes to the long-term maintainable system and so on, I think it will only work if your company or your product is an enterprise level. Kasi pag startup ka, I mean, for me, it will not work eh. Kasi parang, it's a myth pagka startup ka, it's a myth na parang, okay, magplano ka ng architecture na ganito, mag-coding standard kayo na ganito, and then dapat ito maglalast no ng 10 years and so on. It will not work. I mean, kasi
the world is changing.
Like what Migs said kanina, no? Pagka startup, especially startup, they are the ones who are evolving so fast. Now, depending on what will happen after a year, after 6 months and so on. Kasi kaya siya startup eh. Mabilis yung transition into
and I think by
one
the very
and another.
definition of a startup then, it's innovation. There's novelty to it. It's new. As opposed to something that's established.
So hindi talaga siya parang, hindi talaga siya nagme-make sense. Or, I mean, sure, nagme-make sense siya na gumawa kayo ng mga ganong klaseng architectural decision, but that doesn't mean na it will work. So, for me, it's a myth. For me, it's a myth in a way if you will apply it to a startup companies.
Yeah. Curious lang ako. Para, kasi di ba, one of the discussion is nga, legacy system. When do you consider a system?
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah. Ikaw ba? Ikaw muna.
5 years na ba yung system? Kasi I think merong, di ba? I think may negative around, when you call a system like a legacy, parang may negative connotation na, it's hard to maintain, outdated na yan.
Or nobody knows how it works.
So I have 2 thoughts about it. No? So parang, yung first definition ng legacy for me is, yun na nga yung parang sa mga enterprise, sa mga bangko, yan yung mga parang matatagal na talaga pero gumagana pa rin. Diba? Yan yung isang definition of legacy for me.
Okay.
And the second definition of legacy is, ito na yung mga application na na-build sa startup na puno ng tech debts.
So
that's
tech
for
debt
me.
is legacy?
For me, it's one of the factor to call it a legacy. Kasi meron kaming application, like, nasa 1 to 2 years pa lang siya. Since wala kaming coding standard or something, or kung ano, parang YOLO nangyari nun. Ngayon, sumubrang dami na yung tech debt. So, ang problem is, gusto namin mag-build ng something, which hindi kami makagalaw ng sobrang bilis because of the tech debt. Now, we call it legacy. So, because of those problems and also yung mga versions ng packages na meron ka, so outdated na siya in 1 to 2 version. So, yun yung parang for me, one of the definition of legacy.
How about you, Jan?
Siguro, going back dun sa na-share ko kanina na parang legacy project, bukod sa legacy siya kasi sobrang outdated nung version ng tech stack, technologies. Hindi pa siya gumagamit ng Git during that time. So, ganun siya ka-legacy.
Parang legacy.
Legacy nga.
Legacy nga.
Like, yung mga comment na, bakit may comment na ganito sa code? Kasi hindi ko pala nakagit. So, kaya pala parang, ganyan. Hindi siya parang, may pangalan may parang author, ganyan. So, I think, from my actual experience, yun yung parang indication sa akin na legacy to.
How about you?
Yeah, I have nothing to add. I'm just going to echo yung same sentiments. No? It's something that's to the test of time, still the value, it's practically unchanged, which eventually means na ang hirap na niya i-maintain kasi no one's touching it. And yun nga, two things, it doesn't really mean it's bad if it's providing value. Pero by the time it doesn't and you have to touch it, that's where the problem begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's very common in IT industry. It's not something that we can avoid. No.
Yeah.
So we can't
Or
avoid
change is
it.
inevitable talaga. So even yung problem domain, yung problem size will change. Diba? Except I guess if you're doing yung same interest calculation for a balance sheet, parang it's pretty much, the process of accounting has been static.
Right.
I think sa akin same din. Pag yung isang system baon na sa tech debt, like limited yung documentations, wala mga unit tests, sobrang hirap i-maintain. Yung tipong pag nakita ng developer, may stress kagad.